Hey. More of you wanted to talk about this than I thought. So I'm excited that we did a little pop-up training. So I was just saying, for those of you who just popped on, I'm recording this. I have no idea how it will turn out because I have nothing prepared, which is totally unlike me when doing a training. So this is just a pop-up training. I want you guys to be involved. I want you guys to ask questions. I want this to be more of a community type training than just a me talking at you. But I'm going to start off with a little bit of mindset work because that is 1000% what all of us need to work on the most in this business. And the reason why we need to work on that the most in this business is because if our mind is not in a good place, neither will our messaging. So if you think you can't close, you don't know what to say, you know, you are afraid of messing up, you're afraid of losing out on a sale, whatever, you're gonna, because that's what you're thinking. So it's really, really important for you guys to understand that the hardest part of this business is the personal growth, no matter what company you're with, period. So if you're not doing the personal growth and the personal development, I know that if you come from a previous company, then you know that that was like a big focus. It still needs to be a big focus here. I have not let up on my mindset work at all, you guys. That is the first thing that I dive into every single morning. And if I am feeling in a place of scarcity and not abundance, that's my first clue that I haven't been doing enough of the mindset work. So if I open up my messages and I'm like, I have no one to talk to. Oh my God, I don't know what to post today. All that stuff. That's my first clue that it's me. It's not the messaging. It has nothing to do with the people that I'm talking to or their responses. It has nothing to do with whether I can close a conversation or open one. It's all up here. So if you guys are not doing personal development every single day before you do anything else, that's the only place that you're going wrong. And you could probably just sign off this training right now and go do that, because that's where you need to start. So I want you guys to really, really focus on getting in an abundant mindset because of the opportunity that we have here with Green Compass. We are the only company that is doing hemp-based wellness. We are the only company with USDA certified organic CBD. We are the only company that is vertically integrated in the direct sales space. We are the only company doing what we are doing. So there's no room for scarcity in this at all, you guys. No room for it. So if you are someone who is naturally skeptic, I am. So I'm going to speak, I can speak from the heart about this. If you're naturally skeptic, or you naturally are someone who thinks like, I don't know how I'm going to do this, or I don't know where I'm going to go with this, those are the things you need to work on to build your confidence. The other thing that I'm going to say is that building your confidence comes with knowledge and putting your reps in. So if you are feeling stuck in conversations and it's the same people over and over and over again, that might be a clue that you're not talking to enough people. So if you're stuck in the same follow-up and you're hearing, you know, you have someone who's been interested for months and they haven't signed up yet, that's okay. Keep them on your follow-up list, but reach out to 3 more people. Expand your list. I have an ever-going list of follow-ups. I'm going to tell you right now, I do not follow up with the same people every single day. I follow up with different people every single day, so that it's not that same constant thing. When you're closing a conversation, and this is where the pop-up training comes in. When you're closing a conversation, some of the most important things that you can do, scroll back in the conversation a little bit and take out their own language so that you can put that into your follow-up. What that does for you is a few things. It helps them reconnect with their reason for why they're having this conversation with you. It helps you reconnect with why they're having this conversation with you. And it allows you to build that know, like, and trust factor with them in the conversation. They know you're listening. They know that you want them there. They know that you're following up and that you haven't forgotten. So use their own language. And we'll go through some live examples and pull those out so that you guys can do that. The other thing with closing conversations is confidence. Making sure that you're confident in the opportunity that we have, the product that we have, the team that we're on, the support that we have, the resources that we have, The list goes on and on and on, you guys. So I want you guys to like take a deep breath and exhale all of that negative energy of what you haven't closed, what you haven't posted, what hasn't come through yet. And I want you to take a deep inhale breath of all that's coming to you, all that you're sharing, all those people that you're going to help with this special freaking opportunity that we have, you guys. You have to be breathing energy out. Do you guys know why you're all here? It's not me. It's 1,000% not me. It's because you had the confidence, or you saw the confidence that either I had or whoever invited you here had in offering this to you. They were speaking to your heart. They were breathing confidence into you. They were sharing things they knew you wanted to hear. That's what you have to do every single day. We have something special. If you came from another network marketing company, and I'm only saying that, you guys know what I'm talking about. Read through the lines here. We had a lot of competition. We had a lot of competition. We have no competition here, you guys, at all. Talk about that. Talk about the reasons that you're here right now. One of the best things that I can do to tell you guys about your content too, you guys are sharing really great content. Make it about your audience, not you. The most powerful words in marketing are you and yours. Even if you're telling your personal story, make it about them. That's what I do every single day. So people feel like I'm speaking to them every single day. I take what I hear for objections and conversations and I create content about it. Then they don't feel alone in having those objections. I did it today in my stories. I've been getting a lot of, yeah, I've tried CBD, it doesn't work for me. So I immediately went into my stories and I was like, you know what? I had that experience too. Here's why this works. And all 7 of those people that I've heard that from this week felt like they weren't alone, because it must be, they don't know about those other conversations, but now they don't feel alone. And they're like, oh my God, let's pay attention closer. She's speaking to what I'm objecting. So those are the best tips that I can give you, but you guys got to have confidence in this. You have to breathe confidence. I hate the statement, fake it till you make it, but when it comes to when you're learning something new, you kind of have to have that attitude when you go about it. If you have people who are sitting on the fence, get with your upline and put them in a 3-way conversation. All of them. And if I'm your upline, I don't care if it's 10 people, put them all in a conversation with me. If you do that though, make sure that they've seen the videos, that they've gone through the conversation, and they are really sitting on the fence. The purpose of a 3-way conversation is to close it. That's where you guys are going to learn that too. So if you have an upline who's really good at closing, put them in the conversation. You'll learn how they speak back to the person, and you'll learn that way. Anybody here who hasn't done a live launch? Sarah Harlow is not here right now, but Ethan and I did one for her last night, and she got immediately 3 people that reached out and were like, I'm ready. So if you haven't done that yet, get with your upline, plan it, let's do it. I want everybody to have done that. All right, I'm done talking at you guys. Let's hear some conversations and where you're at, and let's walk through them. Also, you guys, put a smile on. You guys, we have such a special opportunity. Every single day I wake up and I'm so freaking excited. And maybe it's because of my previous experience of going through feeling like it was really hard. Like I was like walking through mud every day, trying to find people who were interested. I wake up every day and I'm like, all right, let's go. This is awesome. Who can I help understand how awesome this opportunity is today? I hope you guys start waking up like that. Who wants to go first?
I just want to say, I know Sarah had just mentioned that, get with your upline if you want to have a 3-way chat, or if you want to Zoom with someone. Also, we can use each other. I did this exact same thing yesterday with Candace. I had a potential advocate who was a single mom who is struggling. I reached out to Candace. I know her experience. Candace jumped on. They clicked like this. My potential advocate, like it was just great. So use each other and use like each other's situations. Like I'm a stay-at-home mom. So if you're not and you have someone who's a stay-at-home mom, like reach out to me. I'd love to chat with them. So you don't always have to use your upline. We can use each other. So know each other's experiences. And then, so if you have someone that's walking in my shoes or a similar situation, reach out, because that really helps. She hasn't signed up yet, but the connection was really strong. She bonded with Candace instantly. I kind of just sat back and was like, wow. So like use each other. So that's all I have to say about that, but each other.
Yeah, I think that's amazing too. And this compensation plan will only benefit you more by working together. This is not a standalone compensation plan. So it doesn't matter who your personally sponsored upline or downline is. What matters is that we work together to build a whole bunch of volume, because that's only going to help every single one of us. And if you don't understand how that works, watch the comp plan video. All right, who's got conversations that they're brave and going to bring to this conversation so that we can walk through them? Erica's definitely going to have to do that because this is her idea. So
yeah, I can definitely do it. I just want to say super thank you for having an open mind about this opportunity, I guess, because I know I'm not the only one that struggles, and we all struggle at different parts in the conversations. So I do have some. I did also realize I don't end a lot of my responses with questions, and Ethan was really good at that, like in that video that he shared with ending in questions. So I definitely need to work on that, because I was going through some of the conversations I wanted to use for here, and I don't keep the conversation going, I guess, long enough. Well, not long enough, but to keep it going. But how, I don't know how to, like, we're not like screen sharing. I don't know how to do that, right? I don't know how to share the conversations, I guess.
I think just maybe just give us the gist of where it ends and where you're, and maybe if we need a little background, we can. And I don't think that I'm the only one that has all the answers at all. Like I learn from you guys all the time. So
right.
Hopefully other people can chime in.
Okay, so I have, like I also said that I struggle with like getting to the point, like, okay, well, are you ready? So I had one girl, she had liked one of my stories, or liked a story. And then I was just like, thanks for watching. Have you ever tried CBD before? And she had talked about how she's a Posh consultant. And she had tried oils, and then through conversation, she's never like actually tried a tincture. It's just like a topical oil. And she wasn't really sure if it worked because she doesn't have a routine. And then I talked to her about like how it's consistent and stuff. So I shared with how we have tinctures and stuff to take orally, and how like because she was it was the nano jelly story that she had liked. And then so I had just told her how she should try, I said, oh, we have tinctures that go under the tongue, for then essential oils for skin as well. You should try the jellies. They're amazing and have helped improve my sleep tremendously, which wasn't something that I was expecting when first trying them. They're water-soluble nano jellies on the market, 10 times availability, and they're super effective. You should try them. And then all she did was like heart it.
Do you know what I want you to do next time? Instead of explaining it all out, I want you to say, hey, you know what? We have this really cool product. It's called a nano jelly. I'm going to send you a little video explaining more on what it's. If you guys are doing all the talking, stop doing that. Share the third-party tools. They are made specifically for us to use. I am hardly doing any talking. I'm literally just like the middleman between them and the videos.
Okay.
Middle woman.
Yes.
Sorry. So I would say, instead of trying to be an expert at everything, be an expert at sharing the tools. They work. They're developed by professional marketing.
Yeah, so she was one of the first people that, when I started, and I wasn't sharing the videos then, because now I constantly, that's what I'm sharing, is the videos. I just wasn't sure how to like go, like I want to follow up with her obviously, but I don't know how to be like.
Come back to your own experience. Send her a specific story, like a picture or something of you holding your jelly and just being like, hey, I just tried this new flavor for the first time and I was really into the limoncello, but I'm really loving the elderberry. Have you thought any more about trying these?
Okay. You make it sound so
Or too, like
Erica.
another,
Oh, sorry.
I was just gonna say another thing that I just saw on the green team page from the training this morning. It was like 5 minutes long. One of the last sentences was like, you can do it as easy as like, hey, on Fridays I follow up and you were on my list and I know you're interested in the nano jellies. Like, where are you at? Or like just something super simple.
So have you sent her any of the videos? Did you go back and send them in your conversation?
Not her yet, no.
Yes. So another way that you could follow back up with her is just be like, hey, I just stumbled upon this new video. I know you were really interested in the jellies. Check this out.
Okay.
And then that can give her the more information and get the conversation flowing. Let me know when you check it out and ask me any questions or something like that.
Also, Erica, I want to ask you, do you feel like you're bothering people when you're following up?
Not so much. That was gonna be the next thing. I have a different conversation about like using their own words, like back to them. That's what I feel like I'm like, well, you said this, or like kind of, or like.
But because you're on the defensive. So instead put a positive spin on it.
Okay.
Hey, I know you mentioned XYZ. I wanted to share this video with you to help you understand more.
Okay.
Not like, oh my God, you said you weren't sleeping. You need to try these. Why haven't you tried these? You know, because like that's, I'd be like, okay. So yeah, I think just using the tools, having the confidence, and know you're not bothering people. If they're still showing up in your stories, they're still interested, 100%. Even if they ghost you, promise. I get ghosted all the time, you guys, all the time.
Yeah.
Like, and if you're not getting ghosted, you're probably not talking to enough people.
Yeah.
If you're not hearing no, you're not talking to enough people. If you're not hearing yes ever, you're not talking to enough people. And I think a lot of us came from the environment of like that's the other one thing that I wanted to mention to you guys. Don't be afraid to say green compass at all. Nobody knows what it is for the most part. And when they want to know more about it. I know a lot of us came from previous experience of like, being like, oh my God, hide what this is, hide what that is. Please don't do that here. Like, you don't need to. And I have actually noticed that there's a new season of social media right now. There's so many companies doing so many things. People just want to freaking know what you're doing and what's working, period. So if you speak about it with confidence, say the name, I've had so much more interaction because of that.
I think too, I have noticed that builds a lot more trust. I've had actually people reach out to me and be like, I really appreciate you telling us what you're doing. Like, so, because when I was with Beachbody, like I never said it. I never said the word. So I think it does just build a rapport too.
Agree.
And I just wanted to share something that I can't even talk now. Sarah shared with me yesterday during our call about I was having a problem with like I would send the videos, talk, ask questions, send the link, and then I wouldn't hear anything from anybody. And she told me about telling them like once they have whatever they're wanting in their cart, then to like message me to share how to get the extra 20% off and the free boost for June. And I was using that all day yesterday and today, and I'm not just like getting ghosted. They're saying thank you or like, okay, I'll be in touch and things like that instead of just,
yeah,
here's this. I know, like, and I was like using the whole, I think I might have off Devin and Colleen's page about, here's the $10, here's a link with $10 on top. And it kind of like went through all of that. And it was like, I love the space. I thought you would too. And I was just getting like ghosted afterwards. And now people are like responding. So now I'm just hoping.
I like to keep that in my back pocket. So I send them the link and then I'll just explain it out to everybody who hasn't heard this. I send them the link and I'm like, hey, let me know when you're ready to order and you have everything in your bag. I already added the $10 off, but I have another really cool way to save 20% on top of everything. So let me know when you're ready and I'll just send you a little voice message on how to make that happen right in the cart. It creates urgency and also FOMO. Story of my life. Who else has a conversation? I think Carrie's doing her power hour over there, which is awesome.
It's been an extremely busy day. I usually go to a coffee shop and work, but I couldn't do that today. So I'm listening and actually adding notes too.
Hannah, do you have some conversations that we can help you with? Oh, she's got the baby. I didn't see the baby. I'm sorry. Until you lean forward.
I'm gonna have to keep it quiet over here.
Oh.
Pretty much everything that Erica's discussed. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm screaming. Sorry, I'm a loud person.
No. I appreciate it. I appreciate you, your time and everything. So yeah.
Anybody else have any conversations that we can help you walk through?
I can share one if that's
Yeah,
cool.
go for it.
I had to change my just for everyone else. So I have one person who's really interested, and I showed her the different options, and was basically just like, I don't think I can afford it right now. And I was like, I responded with totally understand that. It can feel like a lot at first, and I told her how she can sell some of those products directly so she can make that back. And then it also is tax deductible, right? Because of, yeah.
When you start a business, yes.
Yeah. So she wanted to do the advocate thing. So I kind of left it at that. And then the conversation just like went elsewhere. So I don't know. That's just what has come up. So I'm
Did you
thinking
share the graphic with her with all the options on it?
I did, yes. And I told her that I think the core is the best way to go. That's what I did because you get the most for your money, and it's like a really good deal.
There's also a fine line of meeting people where they're at. And so if somebody's really hungry for the business and they need it, just be like, hey, you know what? There's lots of people that start with that $50 option and then they just order something and get their business started.
Yeah. Okay.
There's nothing wrong with that, you guys. It makes things a little bit, it is the best option for people who have already tried the products and they just want to start the business part. It also doesn't create an active status for them unless they order something over 150, like $150 or more. But it is an option for a reason. It's an option because it's, you can basically start no other business for $50.
Yeah.
Ethan's carpentry business cost us 10 grand to start.
Mm.
Guess what? We didn't even make profit back in the first year. So he had to invest in so many things, and he was so new to carpentry that we talked about that on Sarah's live last night. We broke even that year.
Okay, cool. So no, I covered most of the bases and right. Okay, so I'll just go back and
Exactly. Cool. And also it's okay to share content on how cool it is that you can start a business for, you don't even have to put amounts in there, but just say, no overhead.
Perfect. Thank you. Yeah, I know it's mostly I still need to get out of need to get more in abundance mindset when I'm having these conversations too. So I know it's a lot of my energy as well. So I'm yeah.
And this is I don't want you guys to feel like I'm on the attack, but it is mostly a mindset for all of us. A book, if you struggle with money mindset at all, which I think most of us do, and I learned from reading this book that almost all of us have some sort of money shame, even if we have a lot of money. And I'm not saying that that's what I have, but even people who have a lot of money have some sort of money shame. The Art of Money by Barry Tesler, I think her last name is. She's a therapist who does money therapy. So whether you have a lot or a little, if you have a effed up mindset about money, it'll come off in your conversations. If you feel like this is expensive, or if that's your first thought, it'll come off in your conversations. So I would recommend that book. It's really awesome. It really opened my eyes to a lot of things that I might have been putting out there that were holding me back in terms of an abundance mindset. And I'm not saying that everybody's goal is to make 7 figures. It's Ethan's goal. It ain't my goal. It would be awesome, but that's not what I wake up looking for. So it is what he wakes up looking for. So we are on different ends of the spectrum. I wake up looking for the ability for other people to be like, that girl changed my life. That's my mission in life. So do I love that I can make money from this? Do I love that it's a massive opportunity? Yes. But that is not my first thought when I put my feet on the ground in the morning. So get your head right around money. It'll help.
Okay, so I have a quick question. So I'm totally new to direct sales, don't really, know what I'm really doing at this point.
You're doing awesome.
I'm trying. My hardest thing is, okay, so when people are like liking your stories or you're going in to see who you're viewing, are you just jotting those names down and sending them like little messages like, hey, I saw you liked my video, or hey, you watched my story, have you tried CBD before? Like, because sometimes not all of my context is about CBD all the
Yeah.
time, because I don't want
That's
people
good.
to
That's a
see
good thing, by the
it.
way. That's a good thing. You shouldn't have all your content be about CBD. I think this is a good one for other people to chime in on too, but I always aim for a connection first. So I message people straight from my stories. So when I'm in my stories, and I don't have ability to screen share, but I can do this right now to show you. I don't know if you'll be able to see very well, but in the Jumpstart chat, I did share an example of this. So maybe scroll back in there in the beginning. I shared a picture of it. But when I go through my own stories, I'm just trying to pull it up here. So like here I am in my own stories. I go down to here, check these viewers, and then I'll click on one of them. I'm just gonna, Brittany Tyler's the first one I see. I'm just gonna send her a fake message here because I can do that. But I would click on the little arrow over here next to her name. And then what that does is that connects my message to the story that she's viewing. So it's not so awkward when I'm like, hey, I noticed that you were following along with my stories. They can't say, no, I wasn't.
Right. Okay.
You are, because it's connected. So that they know that you're watching and you're looking. And that's where that's how you take the awkwardness out, for me anyway.
Okay.
And then I would say something like, hey, Brittany, I'm so excited that you're following along with this new season. And this is just my story. You're going to hear from some other people. This new season of life for me, I've been really enjoying sharing whatever that story is about.
Okay.
And I'm curious, have you ever tried CBD if it's about CBD? If not, hey, I'm really enjoying sharing this new season of life. I've opened up so much more time freedom for myself. I love that I can just share my dog walks in the middle of the day.
Okay.
Nothing to do with CBD, but it's creating that relationship.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, because I was like, I don't really know what I'm doing over here. I'm just kind of going with the flow. So
yeah, you just want to make friends here on social media. So it's the same thing as like if you were to walk into a new job or into a coffee shop and you were looking to make some friends in the new neighborhood, be like, oh my God, I'm new to the neighborhood. I'm loving this little coffee shop. Like whatever. And if you're not someone who would naturally do that, I think Becca can probably speak to this pretty well. Becca would never do that. I would do that. My husband also would never do that. But if that's not like you, then just go to their page and find something relatable that you can speak to. And maybe Becca can give you a better example of that.
Yeah, so I am very awkward and shy in person. Nobody else notices it, but I feel that way on the inside. So I would never walk into any place and try to make friends in person. So actually, that's what makes this business so perfect, I think, for people like me, because I can connect with people a lot easier through Messenger. I don't know why it's like that, but it is for me. So I am very similar to Sarah. I learned from her, so our methods are very similar, but I just always try to make the connection first. And it usually has nothing to do with CBD. If I've never talked to somebody before, I don't usually bring up CBD. I try to connect with them over something that I see and like on their page. So usually for me, it's other moms. So I'll try to connect with them over that. How old are your kids? Like, I have 3 of my own. Like, are you guys on summer break? Or if, I connect with people over pets or nurses or whatever kind of makes you, those are things that you can connect with other people about. You know what I mean? And then what I think that does is it makes that connection, right? We start building a relationship. They're going to start following me a little bit closer. And I just keep connecting with them. And then if they're still following along, I'll shoot them a message just like Sarah, say, hey, thanks for following along my CBD journey. It's new for us, but I'm loving it. Have you ever tried it before?
Okay.
Simple.
Yeah, that helps out a lot because I'm an extroverted introvert, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
I think another thing that's really important to remember is, how do you like to be connected with? I have been doing
Kids have been born and stuff.
I've done a ton of personality work. If you haven't done the Enneagram, I highly recommend it. I've been studying it for over 2 years now. So I've gotten to know myself really well. I personally love to know exactly what we're talking about right away. Some people don't. Some people need that fluff to like trust. I need the non-fluff to trust. So that's why a lot of my stories are educational, or they'll make you laugh, or anything like that, because that's my personality. So I share that, and that's what makes it easier to connect with people who are watching. So I like somebody to get right to the juice.
Yeah, sometimes I mix it up
What are
depending
you
upon the
talking
person.
Yeah. So just pay attention to how you like to be connected with. I don't like to be
Yeah.
sold to right off the bat, but I like to be connected specifically right off the bat.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
That makes total sense.
yeah, you'll never get a message from me that says, "Hey, we've got this 30% off sale. Have you seen my CBD? Have you clicked my link? Have you done it?" Like, you'll never get that, because that for me is a total turn off. I get that from hair stuff all the time. And you'll never get that from me. But I also share a lot of stories about exactly what I'm doing with my business, exactly what I'm doing with CBD, exactly what I'm doing with my family and my house. And so I jump right into relating with a purpose.
Okay.
And-
So
and-
how does like the whole hashtag thing go? Like, I've kind of got a couple of hashtags, but I don't like just generalize stuff, or
Nope,
like based off
don't
what it
ever
is.
generalize. So the only way that hashtags are effective is if they relate to the specific piece of content that you're sharing.
Okay.
So if you are a twin mom, but your post says nothing about being a twin mom, that hashtag will go nowhere for you.
Yeah.
So if you can, I only use like anywhere from 3 to 10, never more than 10, because first of all, I don't have time to think about it. I'm not that creative. And then second of all, I usually have one specific thing that I'm talking about. So I really only need like some really specific. So the best way is you can go check out some of my posts, and you'll see like there's specific words in my content, and those words are specific hashtags that I use.
Okay. Okay.
I think
Perfect.
another
Thank
thing I think another thing, Samantha, that works really well too is hashtags for me. I don't mess with them. It is a rabbit hole for me, and it just consumes too much of my time. I think they work really great for other people, but if you are someone like me who can spend hours like, oh, I just need to find the right hashtag, I don't worry about them. I like to use what is it called? A place. A location. And if you are in like a populated area, it's cool to use like, places that you like to go. Like if you have a cute coffee shop that you like to go to, or we don't really have that kind of stuff around here. So I tag a lot of far away lands. But that's been working well for me, locations.
No, that helps out a lot, because normally I don't put locations down just because, okay, honey, I'll get you so much. Sorry, guys. Kids, life. But no, I mean, the location thing would be really helpful too, just because a lot of times you don't think to put those things down, like especially places near you, like if you go to your favorite coffee shop, or those kind of things to connect to other people.
Something that else is pretty intriguing about location tagging here right now, especially with Green Compass, is that we have a lot of states that have no representation yet. So think about that. Almost the whole West Coast is untapped in terms of Green Compass. So any state that's past Illinois is in the West Coast. And so in our company, so that one corporate rep has all those states. So what that said to me in my mind is that if she can handle every state from Illinois to California, then there's a lot of places there that are not, have no representation. Whereas if you notice the South, and it's basically the Southeast and the Northeast, those are still big regions, but they're a lot more compact, because that's where we have a lot of population. A lot, I say that. I mean, we have less than 20,000 working advocates. So think about that. In our previous company, we had 400,000.
Sarah, is there a list anywhere that says like what states or anything?
I'm not sure. My goal is to have one advocate at least in every state.
That's what I was trying to really like try to look up different areas and think of like places. And when I see meds come on the TV, like ADHD meds and migraine meds, like I'm going to those meds and like looking to see if people are taking those because CBD might help them instead.
Cool.
I've been kind of,
Yeah. I mean, I would
Right.
say, look at the map that they posted in the region specific Facebook pages.
okay.
And you'll see the area that Tacey Beachy covers. All of those states probably don't have a lot of representation,
Okay.
which is why she can personally, one person handle all of that. That was how I computed it in my brain. I actually have zero facts behind that, but
Logical, so.
I think that I am logical. That's, if there is one thing I am, it's logical. So that's how I perceived it.
No, that's good to know because I'm moving from Michigan to Texas soon. So within like a month time. So
Yeah,
it's been
just
very
because,
busy.
I was gonna say, just because you're like, I'm located in a very small town outside of Erie, Pennsylvania. I don't ever share my exact location because of my previous job. So like, I'm constantly like putting locations out farther than me, and it works. Actually within Green Compass, I was in the Northeast region Facebook page, and someone had posted on about being from Pennsylvania, and everyone was going through and typing where they were from, and I was scrolling down and someone had tagged someone. I noticed the name, and here it was a woman that I went and picked up some free stuff at her house off. We have a free community Facebook page, and her upline is a presidential founder from Texas. So like, she's obviously like, you know, tagging other places to get out there to different locations. So that helps as well. Just because you're living in Erie, Pennsylvania, doesn't mean you always have to tag just shops in Erie, Pennsylvania, or just in Erie, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's myself, Becca, Brittany, Sarah Harlow, and I think Kelly are all within like 10 miles of each other, probably no more than 20. And so we all, I mean, first of all, 0 people except for us know where Wilder, Vermont is, but also we all have to kind of get outside of the area because otherwise we're constantly like over twining each other. So yeah, I think that's an awesome thing to use on your posts is location tags. And Becca's actually really good at using different locations. I sometimes forget to put the location if I'm being honest.
Yeah, I use because I try to tag locations of places that like I would want to visit, or something there like attracts me, because I figure if I'm attracted to it, then more of my people are going to be attracted to it. So I actually use an app called Niche, whatever the word is, niche.com, and you can like filter towns and cities by certain things. So for me, like, we are a biracial family, so I look for places that have like good school systems, a lot of diversity, and low crime rate. And that's the secret to how I pick my locations. Places that like I would want to go and visit or live.
When you send the videos out, if they're not I mean, I know I move on and just keep checking back in with people, but do you always send your link though right away, like with the videos? I never do. I have not sent my link out until I've asked them and they seem interested. That's why, like, I'm wondering, like, okay, am I do something wrong? Like, I'm literally doing what all of yous are doing. So, like, I know it's gonna happen. I know everyone has their own audience that draws the people in. So it's like, I don't know. I'm just being me. I'm being me.
All you gotta do. That's all you gotta do, Kristen. You just gotta keep being you. You're also you're also very new to this, so
I think that's what was hard in the beginning, is because you see, and when we all come, a lot of us from the same company, and then you're like, okay, well, they're blowing everybody out of the water. What the heck am I doing wrong? But I know it does take time, and I love that it's about the relationship thing, because I like to talk to people and I become friends with them. And I'm running into one thing you were saying about was about how like no other company, does this with hemp wellness. I ran into a couple people that they have hemp products. They have the terpenes,
Right.
they have that. And I'm trying to talk to them about that. Well, like, where are your farms? Some of them have things, but like they're huge corporations, and a lot of like the doTERRA oils and things like that. You're like, well, oils are kind of the same as CBD. And I'm thinking, no. But like, you got to say it in the right manner.
Well, the other thing to remember is that they might have one product or so. We are the only company
Everything.
that is completely hemp-based wellness and CBD. So that sets us apart. The other thing is, with those products, if they're working for them, that's great. But I've had most of the people tell me like, I'm like, okay, cool. Check this out. Because I had that same experience. Also, use your own experience, you guys. Whatever that experience is, use that to relate to people. Use that for your content. And Kristen, I'm going to remind you because I know you. Put them blinders on. It doesn't matter what the hell everybody else is doing. What matters is what you're doing. Because if you are worried about what everybody else is doing, how that compares to you, you don't know what's in their life. You don't know how many hours they're working. You don't know what wall their back is up against. It's just not your life. So don't worry about it. Just keep going and being you, because that's why you're here. That's what makes you unique. That's what's going to grow your business and your audience. What I'm doing is not going to grow your business. So don't freaking worry about it.
So do you follow up with people after you send them the videos, Kristen?
I don't do it like right, you know what I mean? Usually what I say at the end of something is I'll ask them, or I'll say, okay, are you able to check these out before, do you think you'll be able to watch them before like tomorrow at noon? Or can I check in with you later on this evening and give you some time, to watch them? That way, like they kind of have a set time in a sense, but then I've kind of mixed it up a little bit because I don't want to make it seem like, okay, you have to watch these like right now. But
Yeah.
some people are off doing everything else and then they don't.
So
But-
I can share what's kind of working really well for me is I'll send the videos to people and I'll say, check these out whenever you get a chance. And then we can chat more, ask me any questions, something like that. I give them a couple of days. I know I'm super busy. So if I wasn't in network marketing, I would not be on my phone nearly as much as I am. But after a couple of days or so, if they're still like really in my stories and liking my stuff, I'll just shoot them a message, say, hey, did you get a chance to check out those videos? It's such a cool company, right? And that they'll either respond with like, yes, oh my God, I did get a chance to watch it, blah, 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 blah. Or they'll be like, oh, I haven't had a chance to check them out yet. And then that gives me the opportunity to send them another message and be like, yeah, no worries. They're only a couple minutes each. So it won't take up a lot of time. I think a lot of times when we send videos to people, sometimes people will think like, oh, like I have to have like a half an hour to watch this video now. So I just always let people know that they're like, it's literally only a couple of minutes, won't take up a lot of your time. Check them out and then let's chat.
I
then-
definitely, I do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Usually
I
they'll
tell
get
them
back to
on-
me quickly.
I tell them usually like check out these videos. They're only about 1 to 2 minutes in length. And if they would be interested, and I've always been bringing up the business opportunity now. Like I literally always I've been leading with that, falling back on the products but I feel like I'm getting over that hurdle where they're just not watching the videos. And I am reaching out to more people though, because I know you can't just keep relying on those same people because they might never watch the videos.
Do you use voice messaging or texting?
I kind of go back and forth. I like doing voice messages, especially whenever, I don't know, I kind of switch back and forth. I like doing it whenever I get more personable with the people because it shows the authenticness. I've had people actually think that I'm fake a long time ago. And I'm like, look at my stories. I talked to my stories today. Like, I'm not a fake person. Like, they're like, no, you're not real. I'm like, okay. I'm like, and then I find out like they're not real. They're sending me like,
You know what emoji they get from me?
$500.
They get this emoji back from me. See ya, I'm out of here. So I don't have time for that. But one of the things that I do both text and voice messaging. But if I see that somebody hasn't watched the videos yet, like I sent them and they haven't seen them, or if they have seen them, but they haven't responded, I hop right in there. I'm like, hey, I don't know if you've had a chance to check out these 1 to 2 minute videos yet, but I was just thinking of you today while I was taking my jellies, because I know that you said XYZ, blah, 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 blah. Go back to whatever you guys were talking about before. Then they're like, wow, she's really paying attention. And it kind of like softly calls them out.
Or, and Sarah talks about this all the time, if you're sending voice messages, sometimes that can be a little like too in your face for people. So switch it up to writing, texting.
I almost never connect initially with a voice message because I know that scares some people off. Because they're like, oh, she sent me a voice message. Oh my God. And then they just like check out. So I always connect through text first. And if somebody responds with a voice message, I respond with them with a voice message right away. I'm like, oh my God, thank you so much for this voice message. I love voice messaging. You're my people. That creates that know, like, and trust factor too. I think a lot of it, if you're new to this, is really just putting your reps in, you guys, and getting comfortable with what we have, with what we're doing, and with hearing no. All those things are things you just get comfortable with. I don't care if I hear no. It does not bother me at all. I also don't care if somebody doesn't follow up with me or respond back or anything like that. I am solely concerned with those who are. So I go out with a mission looking for those kind of people. My content's also very niched, whatever. Becca and I don't really know how to say that. We're not influencers.
Fancy over here.
We're not influencers. We're just humans. So I speak to a very specific type of audience. And I recommend that because it's fun. Then you get more of your people coming back at you. Anybody else got convos can help with? And if not, oops.
Go ahead. Oh, I was just gonna say, I believe it's your mother-in-law maybe, that in the conversation said like she has troubles with like initial connections, I think maybe. And I know during the previous business, my upline was like just like throwing like polls, put polls in your story, which was cool. So I was throwing all these polls up there, but then people click on it, I'd be like, shit, now what do I do? Then I was then sitting, like if they wanted information, I was just like trying to like send them all the information. And I learned not to do that. So I don't know if anybody else has that struggle with like once they put, it was very easy for me to put the poll up, but then once someone clicked on it, that's where I kind of got stuck and I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. I've since moved on from putting my reps in on that, and now I feel like I struggle with more of the closings. But so I just didn't know if maybe someone else was on here struggling with that, if there was input of other leaders that could share how they share from that.
Again, I'm pretty direct. So I'm okay with that. And here's something that I also want to say in closing conversations. I am not afraid to ask people what's holding them back. Because if we've had a lot of conversation and I know this is something that can help them and I know they're watching and they're interested and I know I'm speaking to their pain points, I go, hey, I know we've talked a bunch and you're following along. I'm absolutely loving this. I'm looking for more leaders to join me. What's holding you back? You'd be so great at this because of XYZ. And they're usually like, I'm just scared to post on social media. I'm like, oh, girl, I'm going to teach you how to do that. It's not a big deal. So don't be afraid. Be in your mission. Be in your mission. That's what I can say. Even if it's a little scary. The worst thing somebody can say to you is no. It's
always a no if you don't ask. That's my philosophy.
100,000%. And if you have somebody that's really interested, and chances are they're following someone else that is also doing this, if you don't invite them, someone else will. And the first time that happens to you, the first time that happened to me, I never, ever did not do that again, because it is a burn when that happens and you see them showing up with green compass. You're going to be like, okay. She was on my list for next week. Cool. I hope this was helpful. You guys are all the bomb. I want you guys to have confidence in yourselves, in our team, in this opportunity, in this product, in this company, in where we're going. This is such a massive opportunity for us to grow with this company and help this company establish themselves in the world, not just our country, but in the world. Think about that. There's a global expansion plan that's starting to happen over the next couple of years. We are going to be a part of every part of that expansion. So if you aren't excited about that, you guys, write it down in your journal. Do some envisioning of bigger things than just your paycheck for next week. We have a mission. I have a mission on my heart. I want people to know that we have the best CBD. I want people to know that we're in a company that cares about us. I want people to know that we have a mission to spread holistic and hemp-based wellness throughout the entire world because our world needs it. So those are things that I write about in my journal every single day. I think about every single day. And if you're not thinking about that yet, if you're not inspired by this yet, or if you're not staying inspired, that's where you need to start, because that's how I go out every day and look for my nose. I go out expecting people to say no. I follow up with people expecting them to be like, I can't do this right now. I'm okay with it, because my mission is to find the people that are ready for this, who need this. The last thing that I'm going to leave you guys with, I haven't been able to locate the podcast, but our world right now is in a crazy place economically. And I have heard from several of you that people are worried about spending money. I want to share a little tidbit that I have learned about network marketing. In times of economic decline, network marketing is one of the only economies that booms. The reason that is because it's something that people can do without taking time away from their families, without having to go to another job. Everyone and anyone can learn how to do it. So traditionally and historically, since the 70s, anytime there's a dip in the economy, there's a boom in network marketing. And we're here. So I don't know about you guys, but that makes me pretty freaking excited to keep talking about the business, instead of thinking, oh my God, people don't want to spend money. No, they want to make money. So lead with the business, you guys. Be excited about it. We are already here. We're already set up for success. You just got to utilize the tools, dive into your inspiration, get your confidence up, put us in three-way chats, get on Zooms, offer the tools and resources that we have, put them in the product hub. I use the product hub every single day. Share testimonials, share each other's stories. Get freaking not expired. Don't get expired. Don't get expired. Get inspired. Sorry. Get inspired about what we have at our fingertips and what we're already a part of. That's going to be the biggest thing that's going to build your business. That's why you guys are all here. Plant them seeds, Brittany Tyler. She's got it. All right, cool. So I hope this is helpful. If you guys have any questions after this, don't be afraid to ask. You know where to ask them. We're not an afraid group of questions. So you guys are awesome. I believe in all of you. I'm really proud of this team. I can't wait to be the top team with all of you. My goal is to be sitting down in the chairs and watching all of you guys walk across the stage, because I'm going to be counting. That's what I like to do. So put that in your head. You're
going to need one of those clickers, because there's going to be so many people.
1,000%. That's what I want. I want to have one of those clickers. I want to be the team that everybody is watching. That's what I want for us. I hope that's what you guys want for yourselves too. It's not a me thing, it's a we thing. Let's fucking do this. No more doubts. Get your confidence up about what we have, and let's just freaking go for it. All right? High five. See you guys later. You're the bomb.